Alright, in this video, I just want to quickly go over something here. Are you good? Are you a good man? Are you a good woman? I imagine you'd say yes. I don't think anybody's really going to say they're not. For the most part, anyway. And why do we say we are good? Well, we'll say we do good things, right? What's interesting here is that I put, are you good? And only the second thing here asks the question. Everything else is saying, you are good. You are good enough. You are very good. You are, and what else? Yeah, basically all just that. You're good. You're good. You're good enough. All right? And I bet you basically have that mindset. I'm good. All right? And what do we think of when we think of a good person, right? We think of somebody that is helpful, somebody who's kind, generous. Maybe think somebody who gives to charity, gives money to the homeless, even donates time to a soup kitchen, donating clothes and food, even cooking the meals and stuff like that. We can go what we think is like somebody who's really going all out, and they're doing things like that, and they're giving their time to help others. And what would make somebody evil then, right? Or bad? Well, they do evil things. They're selfish, they're inconsiderate and rude, right? That's what you think of as somebody. They're a prick. They're an asshole, or even a bitch, right? Those aren't good people. They're bad people. They're evil, right? And you can get even more hardcore, right? They're liars. They're manipulators. They're thieves. They're conniving. They're envious. They're adulterers and cheaters. They they murder. They rape. They molest. They're greedy, right? And some of those things you may be like, yeah, well, I've done those things, or I do those things. Like, you may be like, yeah, I lie, but I'm not a big deal. White lie. It's kind of like, it's magic. No, it's white magic. It's magic. You know, it's not black magic though. Well, it's a lie. Well, it's a white lie. It's a lie. Right? They stolen something. Might have been something small. When you were younger, you stole some candy bars or something from some store, or something like that. But you generally say you're good. I think most people would. But think of it somewhat of the opposite way, right? You can say, well, this person is bad or evil because they don't do good things, right? They don't help out the needy. They're not considerate of others. They're not giving their time and their money to help out those in need or anything like that, right? So that person's not good because they're not doing good things, right? They're not doing evil things, but they're not doing good things. So they're not good then. Just as though you could say somebody who's not doing the evil things, well, they're not evil then. They're good, right? They're not lying, they're not manipulating, they're not cheating, they're not stealing, they're not committing adultery and fornication and murder and rape and molestation. That they're not doing those things, so they're good, right? You may be wondering where I'm going with this. Well, you see, a little bit of leaven leavens the whole lump. What that means is you just got to put a little bit of yeast into the bread, and it infects all the bread, and it's going to puff up, right? And if you don't put the yeast in, the bread's not going to puff up. It's unleavened bread. It's kind of like flat bread, right? No yeast in it. Yeast and leaven, same thing. Well, how can you say you're good if you got some leaven, you got some of the yeast? Just that little bit puffs you up, ruins everything. It doesn't work the opposite. If like you're evil, but you do a little bit of good, you donate to the charity and this and that, that doesn't all of a sudden make you good. You got to think of it like this. You got two kids, right? They both go playing in the mud. One of them goes, takes a shower and gets cleaned up, gets on new clothes and everything. All right, so now these children represent two things, good and evil. The dirty kid represents evil. He's not evil for playing in the mud, but the mud on him represents being evil, okay? And the kid being clean represents being good, right? Well, if they hang out and they start playing around, does the cleanness rub off on the one that is good? Or does the dirty rub off on the one that is clean? Yes. The dirt rubs off on the clean one, and the dirty one doesn't get any more clean. Because it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. That's why a little bit of leaven leavens a whole lump. Like if somebody's all clean cut, they got a nice suit on, but they got a little ink stain on the shirt or a little wine stain or food, it's kind of like, oh, the whole thing's ruined, right? That's how it works. So what I'm saying here is being good is not just about doing good, it's about not doing the evil. You can't do both. So in order to be good, you got to be completely good. You got to be completely clean. And you may be saying that's hardcore. Who the hell can do that? Well, that's the whole point. You can't. You see, the Bible actually talks about that, where if somebody who is wicked, right, they're doing the evil things, but if they turn away from that and they do what is right, as in they clean up, then all their unrighteousness will be forgotten. As if that kid who was all muddy, you went, took a shower, and got cleaned up, you forget about the kid ever being dirty. Right? It doesn't matter anymore. He's all cleaned up. Everything's good. But if somebody who's righteous, somebody's all clean, they turn and they want to do wicked, they're going to be dirty. So all their righteousness, their cleanness is going to be forgotten because they're dirty now, even if it's just a little bit. So just because you're clean, you do some good things, doesn't mean you can go play in the mud and do evil things and you're still good, you're still clean. That's not how it works. It should be obvious. It's not like, oh, well, my clean shirt outweighs my dirty pants. Or only my shoes are dirty. No, you're either completely clean or you're dirty. That's how it is. And after you think about that and you try to actually live that, you realize you can't do it. And that is what leads you to Jesus. And that's why you get this kind of nonsense telling you you are good, you're good enough, you're good, because they don't want you focusing on reality, the truth of the dirt that is on you. They don't want you looking at that, because then it gets you feeling a bit ashamed, feeling a bit guilty, and you want to do something about that. And the only way to get cleaned up and to get away from the guilt, to get away from the shame, is to come to Jesus, and He will clean you up. But the world doesn't want you to go to Jesus. They want you to think you're good enough. Your good deeds outweigh your bad deeds. So who cares? You got this nice suit, but it's stained with wine or some ink or whatever. So what? It's still a nice suit and mostly clean, right? That's pretty much what everybody's saying. It's like, no, it's dirty. Go change. Clean it. Get a new suit. Do what you gotta do. Get cleaned up. So I hope this all makes sense. And this whole judge not lest ye be judged. You know what? Let's go to that and we'll end the video with that. Because I know that's what a lot of people like to bring up in the Bible. Judge not lest ye be judged. Right? Let's put that up. Judge not. Which one should we go to here? This looks like Luke, John, Matthew. Let's do this because this is at the Sermon on the Mount here. Alright, let's just go to KJV. Let's read this. Judge not that ye be not judged. So does that mean you don't judge anything? Because if you don't judge anything, how the hell are you going to make a choice about anything? Anything at all. Do you like this person? Don't judge them. You got to decide if you like them without judging them. Does that make any sense? No. That's stupid. So if we read on here, it says, for with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged, and with what measure ye mete, it shall be measured to you again. And he goes on to clarify that. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam of wood? That's what it means, a beam of wood that is in your own eye. Right? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote of thy own eye, and behold, a beam is in thy own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thy own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast the mote out of thy brother's eye. This mote would be like a splinter, a little piece of wood, compared to a beam, right? So he's not saying not to judge. He's basically saying judge yourself first. Get yourself cleaned. Take care of yourself, because how are you going to clean your child up, or a friend, a brother, a sister, with dirty hands? How the hell are you going to do that? First, wash your hands before you wash your child. It's common sense, right? So he's saying take the beam that is in your own eye. So all that crap that you're judging other people about, look at yourself. Are you doing the same thing? So it's not saying not to judge. It's saying judge yourself first. Because if you don't, you're going to be judged. And with what judgment you pass on that other person, it's going to be put on you and measured again onto you. So if you're like, that person is a piece of shit for the things they say and do, and you think they deserve whatever kind of punishment, being locked up or even killed, well, if you don't clean up your act, and you're doing the same thing and you don't even realize it because you're blind to yourself, you're not looking in the mirror, well, that judgment's going to be on you. And just continue with this. And then I'll end it here. It says, give not that which is holy unto dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet, and turn again and rend you. Now, is he talking about literal pearls? I mean, I don't know anybody who even has pearls, right? Matter of fact, this is... I'm sorry, I was going off to another thought. I don't know anybody with pearls, and anybody with pearls, of course, you're not going to give it to dogs or to swine. I mean, why would you do that? You don't need to tell anybody that. He's talking about something like this that I'm talking about, some truth. If somebody is obviously spiritually a dog or spiritually a pig, Why would I give them the truth? They're just going to laugh at it, they're going to mock at it, and they're going to do the same thing to me. You meet these kind of trolls online. They're not respectful in any way, so you don't engage them. You're not going to talk to a dog or a pig and try to reason with them, try to work things out. You're not going to do that. And that's what he's telling you here. But the point I wanted to make here is you have to judge the person in order to know if they're a dog or a swine. How are you going to find out if they're a dog or a swine if you're not to judge them? This is why you have to read the Bible for yourself. Because people will just take things like that and they'll build a whole doctrine off this one short, what do we got here? 5, 6, 7 word sentence. We got 7 words here. And we're going to build a whole doctrine in order to basically do whatever we want and not be criticized for it. So, yeah, if you're judging somebody for being a liar and you lie, you should bite your tongue and stop lying and clean up your act before you judge somebody for lying, because you're condemning yourself. So anyway, thanks for watching and take care.